Okay, so my topic was to design a Bayesian network for simple diagnostic problem. So here I have mentioned the causes of a disease, then symptoms of a disease, and then the actions to be taken to prevent those diseases. So this is the first level. Chronic illness, respiratory issues are the second level. This is the third level, fourth level, and the final is fifth level. Okay. So using this tool, first we define the probability for the causes. Like what is the probability that chronic illness has been happened due to exposure to pollutants. So by using the method solve, we can see the probability, means what are the chances that chronic illness has been occurred due to exposure to pollutants. So it is 30% of probability says that chronic illness has been occurred due to exposure to pollutants. Now, what is the probability that chronic illness has occurred due to exposure of radiation? So it is 20%. And for smoking, it is 50-50 for both. Now, let us see the interdependencies. Now, as we see, chronic illness can either occur due to exposure to pollutants, exposure to radiation, or either due to smoking. Now, respiratory issues. If we talk about respiratory issues, then it can either be caused due to smoking or it can either be caused due to exposure to pollutants, but it is not dependent on the exposure to radiation. So it is independent of the radiation. Now, in the second level, we are able to see chronic illness and respiratory issues. Now, if someone is having chronic illness, then he or she can take two steps, either perform blood test or perform imaging like X-ray and all. And in case of respiratory also, one can perform imaging. Now, in the third level, in the third and fourth level, we are able to see that the results of blood test may determine the disease which someone is having, which might be asthma, cancer, or heart disease. Now, what is the probability that it is asthma? It is 50-50 probability of having asthma. For cancer, it is 29% probability, and for heart diseases, it is 0.45% of probability. Since the value lies is between 0 to 1, they all are in 0.5 range. Now, the cancer, if uh, the patient performs imaging, then he may or may not have the cancer. So that's why their cancer, asthma, and heart disease are independent of the imaging. Then at last level, there are two possible actions which can be taken by the patient. Either if someone is having cancer, then one can go for surgery or take medications. But if someone is having heart disease, then the only option which he or she has is to undergo through surgery. So these are the interdependencies. Now let us see the independence quiz, like whatever we had assumed, are they correct or not? So there is option where we can check. So now using this independence quiz section, we are going to test our network. So if we have to test any of the interdependencies out of this, we'll randomly select any interdependencies or nodes and it will give us a question. Okay, so either we can quiz ourselves or there is an option called ask for applet. So let us see, if there is someone new who doesn't know about our network, then the person can learn about our network using this function. So first click ask a question, and suppose I want to query about blood test, asthma, cancer, and heart disease. So we have chosen these four nodes. So the question it is giving, is blood test conditionally independent of asthma given cancer and heart disease? So the get answer says false. No, because as we have as we can see in the network, if someone is having blood test, then the person will have to perform either of these three actions, that either he be having asthma or cancer or heart disease. So the question was, is blood test conditionally independent of asthma given cancer and heart disease? Answer is false. It is not independent. It is completely dependent on these three nodes. So in the similar way, so we can remove this using ask questions, clear text. Okay, now randomly select this exposure to pollutants and chronic illness. Is exposure to pollutants conditionally independent of chronic illness? Answer of course is false, because if someone has ex- done exposure to pollutants, the person is likely to have chronic illness. So in this way we can test our network using the independence quiz option.